What's the live, what's the life, what's the live, what's the life? Back again with another video, back again with another episode of Let's Chat About It. I go by the name The Real Matt and I'm here with
Fistolezi ka one more ngazongazolo ngizoyenda balo mfana wathatha ibhodo alifaka ibhodo enqanda amabhodo awana amabhodo yini le ngikhulumayo. Welcome to Let's Chat About It.
So this is Let's Chat About It.
Yeah.
We talk about everything that's happening in the music industry, entertainment industry. Then there's other episodes where we talk about life, everything that we come through or come across in life. So make sure that you tap in. But then, as we always start, what's on your chat?
What's on my chat? I would say on today's chat,
In case fast spotlight.
I'm having a problem with the album like Big Zulu, Umkhulu. I think it's flopping. Young tall in terms of marketing. Usually Big Zulu, I think his budget is always that big, is a peak of a hundred tall. But on this album, I think he's a flopper because now my DSP is
nowhere to be found.
Nowhere to be found. My charts, young tall. At least my DSP is caught, but is not doing well. Young tall, yeah, that's my problem.
Do you think what's killing Big Zulu is it because people are still expecting a full-on rap album from him? Because if you check this project now, the only song that's doing rounds, it's Bars featuring Ma7 no Maraza. I think people like Big Zulu when he taps on that too much. Like say too much, man. They heard him singing, they heard him doing other stuff. Yeah. I think they miss that Big Zulu was a taxi, Big Zulu lo shumenka. Because if you notice, Big Zulu always catch traction, mara keep anama bars where he's dissing the game.
Yeah,
where he's
before.
That's when
usually roll out
yeah, that's when that's when he gets attention, traction because abantu baqale kumthanda ngama-bars, ngama-rap. So now I think he's becoming too commercial. It's okay to be commercial, but not too commercial. I don't know if you understand me. Because when you become too commercial, abantu basheshe, it's like ichepis. Abantu it takes the because now you are too commercial. Yeah, so you don't see the need of writing meaningful.
Yeah, but yeah, no bala something meaningful.
But I would say he sings it in the same way.
Maybe it's a marketing budget, or because Nani, I feel like he's trying to sabotage. I'm not sure he's trying to sabotage my artist work. There was a week where Ukolwa was dropping an album.
I heard about that.
Why reschedule?
I heard about that.
I felt like I had to compete on my artist work, excluding Ndlunkulu. Even that guy, the guy who left Tutus, when he dropped, now I dropped a music video on the same day he dropped, I think.
But do you think Uleroy also plays a part in that?
Big Zulu.
But do you think Big Zulu takes full-on decisions or he takes instructions from Uleroy?
Musically,
50-50.
Musical, I would say
Big Zulu.
Yeah, musical. Maybe business-wise, Leroy, but musical, I would say
Big Zulu. But go check out the album, guys.
Check out the album.
My chat.
What's your favorite album from Big Zulu?
My favorite. I don't have a favorite album. I have a favorite song from Big Zulu. It's Home, no music yeah, Home. That's it.
But the album,
trash.
Album is
I don't even know one. Sing Namathoni, man. I don't know one.
What was that album you dropped last year? Then I was a thrill. That album.
Yeah, I remember that album. I don't know the names.
It's a great album. You should listen to that.
And also my chat about Big Zulu. I know you said we shouldn't focus on the negative, but my chat, I think Big Zulu, whenever he wants to play it safe, like whenever now he sees that, okay, now it's getting tricky, okay, Kabizezo, projects, it goes. But that's the story for another day. Then what's on my chat, I want us to talk about artist managers. I think we are lacking.
Who is the greatest artist manager of all time?
Thuli, look, Tilly. Yeah, Tilly is also the best manager Also who? Zeus. Best manager. He deals with
Waffles. There's your top 3.
And who also? I think I'm forgetting someone. Who's yours? Managers.
Mine is Tilly. Only Tilly.
But
even the lady who put.
Yeah, we truly loyal. Yeah. But I think we have to be honest. When it comes to artist managers, we lack artist managers. I think artists now they go for their friends because they want business. I don't mind you going for your friend, but go for that one friend that you know is business wise. Don't just go for I understand the trust, I can trust you to be my manager, but you don't know nothing about being a manager. Then I end up losing brand deals. I end up losing. So I'm saying, in your circle of friends, you know, there's that one friend who's good at admin in. You can make that friend. So these days, I feel like I'm an artist. They make anyone a manager. You're my friend. Be my manager. You end up losing deals. You end up losing gigs because of that. You end up losing money. And also, that friend of yours is a yes man. When things are bad because
and artists forget that I'm an artist, I'm a manager works for them.
Yeah.
My artist now, at least you must be strict.
Be strict, but then also
you must provide money.
But then also, if I'm your friend and I know that you have a good heart. Then if it's time for work, I'm chilling. If I feel like not going to work, I know I'm too lazy. Even if lazy uzokwata, but lazy akakwata isikhathi eside. And when you get to lose 50 pence. Yeah, and so go for someone who will tell you, you know what, to get it right, go for someone who's also earning from you, that wants to earn from you. Because he can't manage a fuck up. Because now he's part of the payroll. Because umngani knows which I'm a rider and we are born and there's no salary. There's no salary. It's like, go with me.
What you think? What you think? Some managers are yes men. What you think? Yes men. Okay, artist is a brand. We gig. Sometimes I'm an artist. I think I'm a rider. It's fuck up. I'm an artist. The reason being, I'm an artist. I'm a rider.
Thank you.
Wonke, I'm an artist in general. Wonke.
Thank you.
I'm an artist, I'm a rider. Because you get those fucking riders, I'm a manager, new performance, you fucking up the brand, or sometimes you figure late, but more focusing. I'm a rider, should be banned.
But I think also what's killing I'm an artist is this overnight success. Like us, let's say us now, we are going to studio, we make a song, it blows up on TikTok. Do you think we'll have a discipline? Who's teaching us about discipline?
That chant is fuck up my artists, especially our piano. I'm artists, they become overnight stars. Then they start feeling like they are better than Ukabza.
Then who's teaching you about the game? You don't know nothing about the game. You just had a hit by mistake.
Then you feel that
you are now a superstar. Then you don't know nothing about most of artists they don't have stage presence. Now, not to sound negative, but most artists they don't have stage presence. Most artists they don't have stylists. Most artists they don't have guys who will tell them how to be professional on interviews. How to dress up, how to have social media presence. There's two presence. Presence when you are outside, presence, social media presence.
Engaging with your fans.
I go to your profile, I see professional photos.
PR photos, everything.
They don't have that because they just blew up by mistake.
I'm a fluke, I'm a hit wow. So they will think that they are better than Kabza.
They think they are better than Kabza. Okay, let's be honest now. Who's one artist that you know that puts in effort when it comes to performance-wise? Not DJs, because DJs we can say Uncle Waffles, we can say Royal Music, we can say and also the DJs that take their craft serious, it's female DJs. Let's be honest.
But my only problem with female DJs is I'm not quite sure with their DJing or they are just there to dance. That's my only problem.
But then you know why by Excel? By Excel because they put in effort into their craft. That's how female DJs overshines the male DJs. Because male DJs, they believe a performance is going there and be like, and be serious. And be then female DJs, they put in a show. Like Uncle Waffles, whenever he goes to an event, unama dancer. And when I say dancers, not just 2 dancers. You'll find 5 dancers. So she puts on a show. An event organizer is often book for the next show because he sees effort.
The crowd.
Just Gigi, Tango Supreme, Devin Gogo. I can name them all. And so they can all shit on them and say music wise they don't contribute a thing, they don't produce in.
But who do you think is best DJ in Mzansi?
Devin Gogo. Mapiano.
Hip hop.
It's pop. Because the ones that I can mention is those that are
but don't you think
old school. Miss Cosmo, Ayanda, MVP.
Switch.
Not females. I thought you said females. DJ Sleek for me.
DJ Sleek is nice.
Yeah. DJ Sleek.
But for me,
with Speedster, I'm not sure. I think the drama around him now, they overshines his talent. Sleek.
But I'll say me, Chaotic.
Chaotic is
my favorite.
Chaotic is the best.
Yeah, Chaotic is my favorite DJ. After that, maybe it can be Zendi. Yeah, but Chaotic.
Okay, I want us to touch on something. Who's that one artist now? Artists that are popping now that you think can have that reach that abazali bethu bamamela, kids bamamela. You know that Casper Nyovest fame.
That's stardom of Casper.
Who's that one artist? Do you think that artist can appeal?
Hip hop or
hip hop? Uthi nabo mama bethu bazomthanda, nabantwana bazomthanda. Who's that artist hip hop wise? I have mine. Should I start?
Yeah, you should start.
Usmaman.
Yeah. Do you think that
I watched Usmaman's interview on the El Tito podcast. That guy is humble. That guy is relatable. That guy is disciplined. That guy can be that artist that can appeal to everyone. I feel like Usmamani can be loved by our parents. And also his music, Uvalo, check.
Substance.
Like you can find your mother singing, I just need a check, because there's no swearing words, there's no big booty, what. When I look at Usmamani as a brand, I see him and I be like, this, okay, I wouldn't say this kid, maybe, this guy. This guy has a potential to be the next Casper Nyovest, because we don't have that. We have niggas that are singing about drugs, and I'm not saying that's wrong, that's you. We have niggas singing about big booty, what. We don't have that one superstar that we can say, mama, listen to this guy.
Like MT. I think MT is the one who came after Casper.
Thanks for that example. Yeah. So I think Usmaman has that potential of being Questa-wise, and appeal.
Yeah, but maybe, like you said, management, if we can get a good management. Yeah. But sometimes, these artists can have potential, then they get fucked up by a record label.
Yeah,
also that's why sometimes we don't get to see artists that it does like because label, they always wanna chow everything. But Usmamani, I can root for him.
Yeah, because he's the
only guy.
Number 20 Taimani.
Aye. I'll tell you.
You're not feeling him?
A long way to go.
What's wrong about Tony Taman? I hear a lot of people saying Tony Taman, same flow, same waves. I can't hear that thing.
I'm not saying he's a bad artist, not a bad artist. But
do you think he still has to do more?
A long way to go, because when it's come to me, for the artist, I always go for a creativity.
Do you think which one is not creative?
Not creative.
But the music is good.
The music is good.
But he's not creative. Then who's that one artist do you think?
I didn't like that thing on that Big Boy.
Big Boy 2 or Big Boy 1 classic.
Big Boy 2, that sample of KO, that of
Pro Kid.
I didn't like that.
You think he didn't represent? Then who's that one artist you think can rap on a Pro Kid beat and kill it? Touchline cheat code aside.
Yeah.
Who's that one artist you know right now that can kill a Pro Kid beat?
Currently. Kane Kid can.
Kane Kid can, yeah.
Kane Kid can kill any
Pro Kid beat, yeah.
Yeah, only Kane Kid can.
Only Kane Kid?
Yeah, only Kane Kid currently.
Nah, let me think. There has to be more.
Nah, only Kane Kid.
Kane Kid.
Nah, only Kane Kid.
Oh, I think I'll regret after shooting this because I have names, but our feed. Okay, Kane Kid, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, who do you think has the most classic verses of all time?
Most classic verses of all time.
A verse that you can recite even now.
Even now. I think the one artist that has the most classic verses of all time. KO.
Reason being I asked that question, I was
KO.
rapping. When last time did I listen to E-Chance? Maybe E-Chance.
E-Chance, his verse.
But I think I can still
his
rap
verse on Ranchos, his verse on God's Will, his verse.
How many classics?
Bro,
We're rolling.
Let
to say I put my fashion in it, I'm on. Yeah, KO has the most classic verses of all time after Pro, maybe.
And quotables. And they also relate.
But Pro has more quotables than KO, but KO has more classic verse than Pro, I think.
Then which artist do you think has the most classic songs? Songs. Already have
AKA.
AKA.
Yeah, AKA.
Do you think Casper Nyovest songs are classic or are hits? There's a classic, there's a hit. For those who are watching, if you don't know,
I think
a classic, it's something that you can listen to after 10 years. A hit, it's something that just hit now. You only listen to it when you hear it. You are not going back to it. I don't know if I'm making sense. A hit, I'm not saying a hit only lasts 2 years. A hit can last 5 years.
Casper has a classic verse on Ingudu. And hits, when it comes to song, you have hits.
But I think if there's one song that's a classic for Casper Nyovest, I hope you bought it.
Me, but my personal favorite one is Confused.
You once mentioned, But for Cas to make a song like I Hope You Bought It at the beginning of his career.
Yeah, that's a classic.
Like we know most artists, they come with those songs when they are already in. Like when Casper Nyovest made I Hope You Bought It, he was not fully in like that. And for him to make a song like that.
But I think Casper can structure an album. He can structure an album.
Hey, that's the thing. Okay, also let's touch on the Big Hash. The Big Hash dropped the project and I saw people complaining that we're sleeping on the Big Hash. He was supposed to be internationally.
What do you think?
He was supposed to be international. They said the Big Hash was supposed to be international. We slept on him.
No, we didn't sleep on Big
That's
Hash.
what people are saying.
Oh, we didn't sleep on Big Hash.
Okay, what do you think happened?
Big Hash was
slept on himself.
Wow, was fucked by his friends or what that in internet wave what. I think that's the thing that fucked.
Bro, I think if a lot of kids that will help.
Okay, sorry, I would say after that incident, internet wave, I think Big Hash, creativity.
You know what got wrong? I think all the kids that were helped, by Ricky Rick, while Ricky was still alive, all the kids that Ricky Rick co-signed, if they listened to him, they didn't have egos, they would be far by now. I feel like Ricky Rick helped a lot of kids, and when they started blowing up, they started having egos. They didn't want to listen to him. They didn't want to take advices from him. But that's where they're nowhere to be found now.
Respectfully, I would say, even though Ricky gave them co-sign, I don't think he gave them the blueprint.
Because
I feel like what Ricky did to these kids, all of them, Young Tall.
when it was
Bagay lokhuzana, what you might call it. Instead of giving them the fish lane, I already caught some fishes. But I think
because with the Big Hash, there was a story where Ricky Rick wanted to sign with the Big Hash.
Yeah.
The Big Hash refused. Then Ricky was like,
sharp,
do it yourself.
If he signed, he was gonna get signed. He was gonna get a blueprint.
Then which subgenre do you think can revive SA hip hop right now? There's a group by the name The Not Mob. Their sound is crazy. Their sound has elements of Bacardi and trap. They sound South African. Let's leave this Pitori chat. They sound South African.
What happened to those guys?
I think
20 those guys.
25K. Still only 20.
I think they were nice.
They were nice. Also, they were slept on. I think. Also.
I think the problem is maybe when they came up, it was after Costa's prime. No?
Then the only hit they had is the one with Kulichana. Sega,
you see on those moments. On those moments, I was like, oh, this guy.
But when we take it into, when we talk about original sounds, on SA hip hop, sounds that represents SA, sounds that whenever you hear this song, you can hear that, okay, this song is by artists from South Africa. They're not more got the sound.
Up next, no?
They got that sound that if you can take their music and
push it
overseas, I think guys overseas will be interested in that sound because it's new. They don't know how it sounds. And also Amakwelas, but then I like the Kwelas when they tap into their Zulu bag. I don't like the Kwelas when they tap into their slime. Yeah, they fire though.
I would say Amakwelas.
Because it's always been like that. Like, check SA hip hop greatest hits. It's Venek songs. Do your research.
Yeah.
Who went plague without a Venek record? Let's talk facts and give me some damn credit. AKA.
Yeah.
It's always been like that.
Me, I don't like the idea of
having a group. Or having a group more than
having
10
a
people.
Crew. You see, I don't like.
Or if they can be.
Reason being, maybe Wrecking Crew. Wrecking Crew fucked up my mind.
So
then Poison Parks. So me, I'm not interested in Kwangu. Just squad server because those guys, those guys didn't deliver up to standard work as a group. That's my problem.
Okay, yeah.
If you were listening to a Wrecking Crew, you'll be hoping for an album from a Wrecking Crew, not that L3 shit. It was a classic, but not that L3 shit. If you were listening to Poison Parks, you'll be hoping for a classic.